When a World War II pilot climbed into his aircraft, he carried more than courage and skill. He carried a silent backup plan, stowed beneath his seat. Every mission over enemy territory was a gamble, and if a plane went down, survival depended not on weapons or luck, but on a small, overlooked metal box hidden in the cockpit. This was the World War II pilot survival kit, a compact miracle of wartime ingenuity designed to keep a downed airman alive in the most hostile conditions imaginable. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't large, but for many it meant the difference between rescue and a lonely death behind enemy lines. The survival kit was the last line of defense when the plane went down. Fighter and bomber crews knew the odds were brutal. Over Europe alone, tens of thousands of Allied aircraft were lost, and pilots often bailed out deep inside occupied territory or over oceans. Rescue was far from guaranteed, and the pilot's only lifeline was what he could carry with him, or what was hidden under that seat. The kit had to be light enough not to interfere with flight, yet comprehensive enough to keep a man alive for several days. Each branch designed its own variant. The American Army Air Force's seat pack kit and the British Royal Air Force Type C or Type D survival kits shared the same mission: to give stranded airmen food, warmth, and a way to signal for rescue. These kits were packed inside a watertight container beneath the parachute cushion or integrated into the dinghy seat pack. When the pilot ejected or bailed out, the kit came with him. Food and water were packed in clever, compact forms. One of the first priorities for any downed pilot was hydration. Water purification tablets were standard in most kits, allowing pilots to drink from ponds or melted snow without risking dysentery. Condensed water tins, small rectangular cans sealed tight, were issued in Royal Air Force kits for use at sea or in deserts. Some pilots even carried collapsible rubber water bladders for refilling in the field. Food came in the form of concentrated energy blocks. American kits often included K-ration-style bars, malted milk tablets, or compressed chocolate fortified with caffeine. Meanwhile, the British, they favoured Horlicks tablets, barley sugar, and vitamin-enriched emergency rations packed in wax boxes. These items, well, they were chosen not for flavour, but for shelf stability and energy density. You see, a single pack could keep a man alive for 3 to 4 days, if rationed carefully. Modern survivalists, you know, they can learn from this design philosophy. Energy, purity and weight always matter more than taste. A handful of dense, high-calorie bars sealed against moisture are worth more than pounds of perishable food in a true emergency. The signalling gear, it was designed for those desperate rescue chances. Survival didn't end with just staying alive. It depended on being found. Inside the WWII pilot survival kit, signalling devices were some of the most vital tools. RAF kits included heliographs, small polished mirrors used to reflect sunlight up to 20 miles away. Pilots were trained to flash in the SOS pattern to attract aircraft or ships. American kits, well, they contained dye marker packets that could stain seawater bright orange for visibility from the air. Whistles, flare cartridges, and even mini-signal flags, they were common in later models. The most advanced versions, especially for Pacific operations, contained small waterproof radios like the Gibson Girl transmitter, though these were stored separately in life rafts. But even without technology, the use of sound, colour and light as signalling principles remains relevant today. Anyone venturing into remote territory can apply the same logic. Always carry a visual, auditory and reflective means of attracting help. Fire, warmth and shelter made the difference in cold climates. WWII pilots often flew over frigid altitudes, so exposure was a major killer once they hit the ground. The survival kit contained simple but effective fire-starting materials, storm-proof matches sealed in wax, candles that doubled as heat and light sources, and in Arctic kits, small tins of solid fuel tablets for boiling snow into water. RAF Arctic and Atlantic kits even contain miniature compasses, fishing lines and silk maps, printed with escape routes and terrain features, all folded so they could fit in a flight jacket pocket. The inclusion of fishing tackle was not decorative. It saved lives. Many downed airmen survived for weeks by catching small fish and cooking them using the tablet stoves provided. Silk maps were another stroke of brilliance. Paper would crumble in water or snow, but silk held up even when soaked and was silent to unfold, critical for evading enemy patrols. You know, modern explorers still borrow these ideas. Multi-use gear, waterproof fuel and lightweight mapping materials are timeless survival principles that actually started right here in World War II design labs. Every item in the kit was meant to be used under stress. What's striking about these World War II survival kits is how intuitive they were. No item required fine motor skills or complex tools. Morphine syrettes for pain relief came pre-filled and could be injected through flight suits. Fishing hooks were pre-tied with line. Ration tins had pull tabs that could be opened even with frostbitten hands. Every tool was designed for use in shock, exhaustion, or injury. The packaging itself was part of the design. Metal tins were crush-proof wax coatings, waterproofed the contents, and colour-coded labels made it easy to find what mattered first. Red for medical, blue for rations, yellow for signalling. This colour system, later adopted by post-war NATO survival gear, was born out of lessons written in blood. The kit wasn't just about tools, it reflected a philosophy of resilience. World War II taught pilots that survival was a discipline, not a reaction. Those who lived longest weren't always the strongest, but the most resourceful. The kit gave them options, but mindset gave them endurance. The underlying principle applies even now. Gear means nothing without knowledge. A flint striker is useless without firecraft skills. A ration pack won't last without discipline. The World War II aircrew understood that survival came down to calm, methodical problem-solving under pressure. A mindset every modern outdoorsman, prepper or explorer should cultivate. The World War II pilot survival kit, hidden beneath the seat, was a masterpiece of necessity. Small, rugged, and ruthlessly practical. It packed every essential lesson of survival into a space smaller than a helmet bag, proving that preparation and knowledge outweigh luck every time. If learning about the lost gear and forgotten ingenuity of wartime survival fascinates you, subscribe to Backyard Wisdom for more deep dives into history's most resourceful designs. And, share this with fellow enthusiasts who value real, hard-earned knowledge from the toughest generation that ever lived.